Buddy Ryan didn't give a rat's ass what you thought. Known for his blitz-heavy defensive style, that brash personality, he was a unique character that was revered in Philadelphia. 5-year stint as a head coach with the Eagles, but he made an impact while he was here. Mike Owens is here. I'm Adrian Fedke. Buddy Ryan dead at the age of 82 today. Everybody passing away these days. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was a really sad day today. You also had Pat Summitt passing away, so and then Buddy Ryan also passing away. So really two legendary coaches in the world of sports passing away today, and Buddy Ryan really one of the greatest Eagles coaches of all time. He goes on the Mount Rushmore for Eagles coaches. He's right up there with Dick Vermeil and Andy Reid. So we'll get into some of our favorite moments with Buddy Ryan, but I think one of the biggest reason why Buddy Ryan was so loved in this city, it was just with his attitude. He really didn't give a shit, and he wanted to kill the other team's quarterback. And in Philadelphia, we love a defense like that. Just goes out after the other team and annihilates them.
Oh, he got everybody on his side once he ran up the score against Dallas. Oh, that got everybody in his good graces. And then you had that. So many instances in his career, even after he left Philadelphia. One of my favorite moments is when he punched Kevin Gilbride on the sideline, 1993 Houston Oilers. He was not a big fan of the run and shoot, thought it was kind of a gimmick type of offense, which kind of makes you wonder what he would have thought of Chip Kelly's offense. I'm sure he's probably rolling around in his grave already thinking about Chip Kelly.
Oh yeah, he is. He would love to lay Chip Kelly on his ass. Buddy Ryan. And the thing about Buddy Ryan is he always had great feuds with Jimmy Johnson, and that's probably another reason why he's so loved in Philadelphia, is because he always would go after the Cowboys. He hated the Cowboys, and he would always go after Jimmy Johnson. The other famous thing with the Cowboys and Buddy Ryan, you had the Bounty Ball, which was, the two games against the Cowboys in '89. That's a really, I love Buddy Ryan for that. Just going after the Cowboys. He hated those guys.
Oh, yeah. He couldn't stand Cowboys. Couldn't stand anybody, really. He was just, in a class by himself. I wanted to share a quote with you guys. My favorite quote of Buddy Ryan. So here it is. I love this. A quarterback has never completed a pass when he was flat on his back. We must hit the quarterback hard and often. Quarterbacks are overpaid, overrated, pompous bastards, and must be punished. Great pass coverage is a direct result of a great pass rush, and a great pass rush is simply a relentless desire to get to the quarterback. Never miss an opportunity to punish the opponent. We must dominate and intimidate the enemy. If the opponent is worried about you, he is not thinking about carrying out his offensive assignment. If you play aggressive, physical, and smart, you cannot be beaten. So Buddy Ryan, defensive philosophy right there in a nutshell.
Yeah, and what made his defensive philosophy so scary too was that these teams would have to come into the vet and not only face the fans but also face a Buddy Ryan defense. So that's pretty scary in itself. And you talk about him wanting to go after the quarterback and really kill the quarterback. My favorite Buddy Ryan moment was it probably goes back to the body bag game. It was a Monday night game against the Redskins in 1990. And, I don't even know how many guys the Eagles ended up sending off the field in that game, but it was a very high number. It was just one Redskin after another leaving the field on the stretcher. And the crazy part is that good old Brian Mitchell had to end up being the quarterback for the Redskins in that game because they had so many guys go down. People that were covering the game at the time were joking that members of the media were going to have to go down and play for the Redskins. It got so ugly. So Buddy Ryan, that's probably, my favorite moment with him is the body bag game. I love watching highlights of that game.
And what about that quote you shared with me earlier?
Yeah,
Jackson.
Yeah, I found this quote that he made about Ernest Jackson, and he said, trade him for a six-pack. It doesn't even have to be cold. So obviously wasn't a fan of Ernest Jackson. So many quotes from Buddy Ryan. I mean, I just went back and was starting to look at some of these. And we only mentioned a few, but there's really a lot of good ones that he has. When you look at Buddy Ryan, it's crazy the way that he just he handled the media and everything. He just said what was on his mind. It really, like the present day, it kind of reminds me of Trump, because Trump's a guy can say whatever he wants and he gets away with it, and that's kind of how it was back then. Buddy Ryan, he could say whatever the hell he wants, and he got away with it. But if someone else would have said that, they would have crucified the guy.
Oh, Buddy. Let's talk about the 46 defense now and the innovation of it. The Bears were a team that weren't really that talented back in the day before the 85 season and all that. So like late 70s, early 80s. He kept trying to experiment with different schemes and experimented with different type of alignments and stuff. And then the 46 came about just another week where he used the safety, Doug Plank, as another linebacker. So basically you had, a 4-3 front, but you basically also had 4 linebackers. So you had 8 men in the box, so to speak, but almost like every play. And during this time, most NFL teams, they used 2 backs out of the backfield. So there weren't no 3 wide receiver sets back then. Over time, that has changed, and the NFL has evolved. And one of the main reasons why the NFL has evolved into what it is today was because of the 46 defense. Because the way to combat that is, Washington was always very successful against us because they were running the one-back stuff and 3 wide receivers out in the pattern. So all of a sudden, the 46 defense didn't do as well when, they had to play the single-back teams.
Yeah, well, at the time, that 46 defense that he came up with was it was outstanding. That 85 Bears defense, it goes down as, one of the greatest defenses of all time. He had guys, obviously the biggest name was, William Perry, the Fridge. And then he also had guys like Mike Singletary and Leslie Frazier on that defense. And really, the Bears that season, they really couldn't be beat. They won 15-1, ended up winning the Super Bowl. I was looking at some, stats earlier today. They had a short YouTube video the NFL did, stats from that defense that season, and they're just outrageous. Through the roof. So that's Buddy Ryan. He'll always be loved in Chicago because he brought them that Super Bowl victory, their only Super Bowl victory that they have to this point. So, Buddy Ryan, he's loved in a lot of places.
Yeah, and I believe he was the first defensive coordinator to be carried off on the shoulders of his players after that Super Bowl. So the premise of the 46 defense, number 1, stop the run. Got 8 men in the box, like I kind of explained. You got the 4 linemen, 3 linebackers, and that 1 safety / linebacker hybrid. 2 was to kind of position the defense in a way to bring more pressure on the quarterback. So bringing more guys that the offense can block. So, again, going back to that quote I referenced earlier, bring that quarterback down. So the 46 defense was the first kind of D in the modern era to you had 3 interior linemen covering the center and 2 offensive guards. So this forced the offensive linemen to block one-on-one. So that limited their ability to kind of move and help elsewhere. So the 46 defense was really kind of revolutionary for its time. Another staple of it was you use linemen that were really quick off the ball, guys that weren't easily blocked. So that kind of controlled the line of scrimmage for Chicago. And going back to, talk about, you said you saw some stats. I saw one today about the 85 Bears. They allowed 10 points or less in 11 of the 16 regular season games they played. And then in the playoffs, I think they did it for all those games. So best defense of all time, 85 Bears. And one more thing before I get to you, because I'll forget about this. He was also part of the Jets Super Bowl III defense, which shut down the Baltimore Colts. So that huge upset in Super Bowl III. That was Buddy Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, the stats with the Bears, which you were mentioning, he held opposing teams to, literally no points sometimes. And the fact that he was able to do it, in the playoffs is even more impressive. So, that's what I, really remember from Buddy Ryan. So, it's a sad day in Philadelphia that he's gone. Really kind of unexpected news. Was not expecting to hear that this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, like Pat Summitt came around. We kind of heard over the weekend that she wasn't feeling well. But, yeah, Buddy Ryan, we knew he's been kind of sick, but still, it's, a lot of deaths lately, man. Muhammad Ali, Gordie Howe, Buddy Ryan now, Pat Summitt. Wow. It's insane.
Yeah, it's been a pretty tough month here for the sports world. So, I don't really want to see anyone else pass away here, because really some just legendary players and legendary coaches passing away.
Just to break down the 1993 Houston Oilers just a little bit further, I talked earlier about the incident where he punched Kevin Gilbride along the sidelines. That was a year where Houston was ecstatic to bring in Buddy Ryan as its defensive coordinator. This was a team that was on the cusp of contending for a Super Bowl. They just couldn't get over the hump. They couldn't win that playoff game. And during this year, in the training camp, all the drama started in training camp with that team. That team was a volcano ready to erupt. Basically, Buddy Ryan was not a fan of the run and shoot offense at all. Thought it was a gimmick. He thought it was stupid. He thought it would fizzle away. He didn't think that's how you were supposed to play football. So basically, he was calling Kevin Gilbride a bitch the whole year. He was egging him on. He was doing all this shit. The defense would always dominate the offense in practice. And during the year, Houston started off really slow. I believe they started off like 1-4 or 1-3, and they eventually got hot. And then came that last game, Kevin Gilbride, Buddy Ryan. They got after it on the sidelines. So that kind of led to the Oilers losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round of the playoffs. So another huge disappointment for that team. And eventually that team got blown up the year after. And Jeff Fisher, not too long after that, became the head coach. So Buddy Ryan is the main reason why Houston kind of had that team blown up. Warren Moon, you had Jeffries, the wide receiver. You had all these receivers on that team. So, crazy to think.
Yeah, it's safe to say that Buddy Ryan wouldn't have got along with Chip Kelly.
Yeah. He's probably hating this modern NFL right now. I'm telling you. All these pass attempts, he's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's for sure. One more thing here about Buddy Ryan. His time with the Eagles, he ended up going, 43, 35, and 1. But in the playoffs, he finished with an 0-3 record. So never won a playoff game with the Eagles, but still goes down as one of the greatest coaches here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was thinking about too. He's so revered, but he never won anything, really. So we just love that attitude, I guess.
Yeah, that we do. And so really, now that's why I think people are excited in Philadelphia with Schwartz coming in as a defensive coordinator, because he kind of has, that Buddy Bryant type of mentality where he wants to get after the other team's quarterback and, really just annihilate him. So that's why people are excited about sports. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's move on to another topic. Let's discuss Bill Barnwell's triplets article from last week. He ranked the best triplets of all the offenses and all the defenses. Eagles offense ranked 30th of 32 teams. The only teams ranked worse were San Francisco and Cleveland. Barnwell picked the triplets of Sam Bradford, Ryan Matthews, and Jordan Matthews. Do you agree with that trio, Mike?
Yeah, so in the trio, you have to have a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Bradford's automatically in there. For me, I would probably have to go with Ertz, and then I would probably have to say Jordan Matthews. Ryan Matthews, he just gets injured too much, so it's hard to go with him. Jordan Matthews, you know what you're getting. He's a consistent player. He's going to put up about 900 to 1,000 receiving yards. So I would probably go with, Bradford, Ertz, and then Jordan Matthews.
Yeah, I would do the same. Definitely. Ryan Matthews cannot be in that trio because he can't catch the ball. And this Peterson offense, as a running back, you got to be able to catch the ball, and he's got stone hands. So, Bart, this is a piece that I saw, and I see Barnwell knows the game of football, but he doesn't know all 32 teams. And this is a perfect illustration of that, because even when I get to the defense, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But Ryan Matthews should not be in this trio. Zach Ertz should be. You could even make the argument that Darren Sproles is more valuable than Ryan Matthews. So now, do you agree with the 30th kind of rating? Because I do. I think that's fair. I don't think
I think that's pretty fair. Maybe give or take a few spots. I think that's fair. That's. You look at the names that we just mentioned, and these aren't names that are really gonna, scare opposing teams. I think that really why we're ranked where we are there is because of the quarterback position. Bradford. He really weighs that down.
I'll tell you what, it just shows how important it is to have a go-to receiver too, because you look at Kansas City last year, there are little kind of comparisons that can be made, because you could say that Kelsey is kind of like Ertz. You could say that once Charles went down, you had Charkandrick West and Spencer Ware. That's kind of like our little kind of running back little trio we got a couple of no-name guys. They had Niall Davis in that trio too, and but the big difference is Jeremy Maclin. They have Jeremy Maclin. We don't have a go-to receiver. And on third down, whenever they have that 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, they're going to either Kelsey on the crossing route, or they're going Maclin on a comeback or like a quick slant. And we don't have a Maclin. So thanks, Chip, for that. Actually, it wasn't really Chip's fault, but because he just didn't resign him. He didn't cut him like Deshaun. But point is, can Jordan Matthews be that guy on third down to be able to move the chains, a guy that you can have confidence in?
Yeah. Not really. Really, I think at third down, this year you're going to have to rely. Really, Sproles would be the number one guy, but besides that, probably Ertz.
I'll tell you what, if Ertz doesn't step up this year, we're fucked.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you talk about those three players, it's safe that none of those guys are star players in the league, and really, the Eagles are hoping that Ertz can make that jump and he can really, become one of the top tight ends in the league, and he's gonna have to be one of the top tight ends in the league. Otherwise, we're in for a long season.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see Darren Sproles kind of be moved around, but how much of an impact is he really, really going to make? It's not like he's going to get 900 to 1,000 yards. So he might move the chains on some third downs, which will be important. But let's not overrate him either. Defensive triplets. He went with Fletcher Cox, Connor Barwin, Malcolm Jenkins. This is why he has no idea what he's talking about, because in his piece he said that Cox and Barwin are by far the two best guys on our defense. Again, this just shows that people outside of Philadelphia do not fucking realize how good Malcolm Jenkins is. It is a joke. It is a travesty. He was like the 38th alternate for the Pro Bowl? That's disgusting. He didn't make the top 100 list? What is this crap?
Yeah, so, I mean, his list there for the defense, I would probably have to go with Cox and then Malcolm Jenkins. And then I would put, Jordan Hicks in there. Connor Barwin is, a nice piece to our defense, but I don't think he deserves to be in the top three. I'm trying to think when we, a few weeks ago when we did that show on the top 10 Eagles on this team, I don't even know if we had Barwin on that.
Big Barwin in the top 10.
Yeah, I don't think we did. So, not really quite sure why he has Barwin. I mean, Barwin is kind of getting older too. So, and the way that Jordan Hicks performed as a rookie before he got hurt was really outstanding. So, it's hard not to put, Jordan Hicks in that mix.
Yeah, Jordan Hicks needs to be in that top three. He was actually my second-ranked player on that list. So it was Cox, Hicks, and Jenkins. Those are my three on that top 10 list a couple weeks ago. The reason why, Hicks, shit. Look how drastic the decline was in our run defense once he went down last year. We gaping holes, Swiss cheese. Oh, it was terrible. He's so instinctive, not only playing the run but in zone coverage. He knows how to read the quarterback. He's got a really high football IQ too, so he can do everything. He's tremendous, and I just hope he can stay healthy because he's an integral part of this defense for sure. Now, do you agree with the 15 ranking? I'll say this about the defense. I don't think we're going to be as good as everybody says that we're going to be. I don't think we're going to be top 5. That's like some people are being very, very hopeful. You don't normally see that kind of leap in the first year and a new coordinator. It takes about 4 to 8 weeks to kind of get your defense going. So I'm not seeing top 5, but I'm seeing maybe we can be like a fringe top 10 defense.
Yeah, I think that this is kind of where people are going to be disappointed this season. I think people have really high hopes for this defense, and they're going to be let down because I think our defense is going to be good. But like you said, probably top 10. Maybe they can get, be a number 8 or number 9. But when you look at our schedule, the second half of our schedule, we have some really tough games in a row. So it's going to be a challenge. Even if you look at the NFC East alone and all the wide receivers that we still have to go up against, still got to, deal with guys like Deshaun Jackson and, Dez Bryant and Odell Beckham. So it's going to be tough to shut guys like that down. We got the Steelers on our schedule this year going up against, Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. So I don't think that this defense is going to produce like people think. And I also think where this whole, great defense thing could fall apart is if we lose one of our starting linebackers, say if Jordan Hicks for some reason gets injured again and he's lost for the year, you can, flush that game plan down the toilet because the defense could really fall apart. The linebacker depth is probably really the biggest concern for me at this point.
It's a very big concern. I'll say this about this team. I think we're more talented than we were last year, but because our schedule is so difficult, I just have trouble seeing us win more than 6 games. Our schedule last year was kind of cake. It wasn't that difficult. We just we couldn't beat the Bucks, we couldn't beat the Lions, couldn't beat the Dolphins. This year, it's going to get a little tougher. It's not going to be easy, and a lot of people are thinking like 8-9 wins, and I'm like, I don't know, boys.
Yeah, that's well, and it'll come back. It'll come down to the defense. If people want to start getting into that range, talking about 8, 9, or 10 wins, this defense would really have to be outstanding. They would have to really jump into that, the top 5 range, because on offense what you're going to get with Bradford. He's going to be average or below average. So, you got to. People just need to, temper their expectations a little bit. Look at the second half of the schedule. It's not easy. And we might even start the season behind the 8 ball. It's very possible that we start the season 1 and 2. It's going to be tough to recover from that.
Yeah, it's not liking this year. Basically, we can win 9 to 10 games if we're a top 5 defense and Sam Bradford throws for over 30 touchdowns. That's how we can win 9 to 10 games. Is that a realistic possibility? Like 10% maybe.
Yeah, considering the state that Bradford is in mentally, I don't think he's going to be able to go out and put those numbers up. So, yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, hey, I would love for Bradford to go out and do that, but it's just not going to happen.
Yeah. All right, some other news before we kind of get off here. John Dornpass. I mean, I know this was last week already, but I loved his magic routine he had. I love that. Malcolm Jenkins is going to appear on Celebrity Family Feud, I believe, in a couple weeks. So, the Eagles taking over reality television.
Oh, they are. I tuned in for the John Dornbos thing, and boy, he had the judges at all with his card tricks. The guy is a true magician. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he also has the ability to make his wife's clothes disappear in bed. So I don't know how he does it. He doesn't even need to be in the room. He can be in another room, and he just takes them right off. It's a miracle. Maybe I think that's going to be his trick. The next time. I think he advances to the next portion of the show, I guess.
Dude, I don't watch the show, so I don't know. That was the first time I've ever watched it because John Dornbos was on it. So you know about me, Mike. You know that I don't watch any television. I only watch sports. That's why I know so much.
Yeah, well, I'll just say that he did. He impressed Simon Cowell, and that's tough to do.
True.
So,
if you can impress Simon Cowell, you can impress anybody. So, that was probably the most impressive part of the thing. He left him awestruck. His jaw dropped. It was awesome. So, there you go. All right, that's about it for this show. We're going to do like a 10 to 20-minute show. We wound up doing 30 minutes. We always go longer than expected. Jeremy will hopefully be back next week. Make sure you check out my Philly Influencer Facebook Live video in the comments or whatever, the description box. I'm sideways, though. It didn't record right, but still some good stuff in there. Any final thoughts before we go?
And the Malcolm Jenkins thing will be on the Family Feud. On what's the date for that?
Yeah, I did bring that up. That'll be cool. Seeing that.
Yeah, when's the date? Do you have when it is?
Like middle of July, maybe like July. It might actually. I want to say July 6th or July 13th for some reason.
Yeah.
PhillyInfluencer.com. So I don't know if I have the date in there. I can look it up. I'm going to say it's probably not. The date's probably not in there.
Yeah, the Eagles have some talented guys on their team. Malcolm Jenkins is just a very well-spoken guy. Also very well dressed with his bow ties.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what kind of bow tie he's wearing.
Yeah, so, and then you got Dornbos with the magic.
Let's see. By the way, Jordan Hicks also got engaged over the weekend.
Yeah, I did see that.
So that makes now 3 Eagles who've gotten engaged this offseason. You had him, you had Bradford, and Ertz. So everyone's falling in love.
I guess Aguilar, he didn't fall in love with the stripper, so Aguilar did not get engaged.
I almost fell in love with Doylestown this past weekend.
Yeah. Oh,
man. Yo, it's a shame that guy got fucking jealous. Yeah, I was playing pool with this chick all night, and wow, it's kind of a turn on when a girl's pretty good at pool and you're pretty good at pool. So we're just kind of running shit a little bit. And dude, remember how she put the change in my pocket?
Oh yeah, she put it in there.
she put it in my back pocket and gave my ass a nice little rub. So it was kind of funny. But then next thing I know, this guy comes in out of nowhere. And I guess it was like one of her friends or something, and I guess they went bar hopping to another bar. So I got fucked. I got fucked over. Yeah.
Yeah. You must have felt.
I was in love, Mike. That was love at first sight. Oh, I need to find this girl. I'm gonna stalk her.
Yeah, she could play pool too. She knew what she was talking about, and then I think what happened was once you started talking to her friend or the boyfriend, whoever this guy was, he definitely felt threatened because you were about to play third game, a tie-breaking game against these other guys, you and the girl against the other guys, and then all of a sudden she just stormed back into the room and said I have to leave, and the guy came in and took her away.
Fuck her, man. Yeah, she wanted to play pool with me all night. It's a shame. I don't know who that guy was. I don't know if it was a boyfriend or not, but she was like really into me. It was weird. I was like, if that's a boyfriend, why are you touching me like this? But yeah, whatever. All right. We're gonna be doing a Sixers show next, a little free agency preview with Kyle Gaffner. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I did a soccer show earlier with Brian Wright, talked a little Euros. So yeah, hope you enjoy our content. We're going to be having a website coming out like less than a month. So, can't wait for that. That's going to be really cool. It's going to change, the way the Bitter Birds are presented. So can't wait for that. I guess, any other things you want to say, Mike?
That's about it. Get ready for the website, and hopefully we really, take off after that. So, the Bitter Birds will be out there in full force, and we've already kind of expanding to the other sports with their videos, but now we'll really be expanding with the content on the website.
Yeah, we're gonna have content on the website. We're gonna have short little videos. So everyone's gonna start doing some individual videos as well. But you can only watch that on the website. So we're not gonna post that here. So we want some people to come to the website too. So, yeah, with that being said, Mike Owens, I'm Adrian FedQ. We're out of here. Again, make sure you tune in a couple minutes. NBA free agency preview. Philadelphia 76ers style. We're out. Later.
Later.